Right, welcome to BPRL Weekly. It's episode 2. It's myself, Matt, and Stu once again,
Good evening.
and we are back for another round of BPRL chat. No racing has begun yet. We do have a test race coming up next week. We'll get on to that shortly. But Stu, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Working. You're drinking at home
Yep,
still.
yep. That's going well.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine that's going
Mm.
well. So, going on from last week, we went through the season calendar. We also went through the driver lineup. One thing we didn't have time for, as it was quite a long episode, about 38 minutes long. So, anyone who did watch it, thank you very much for listening to us ramble on
Yeah,
for
fair play for
ages.
sticking with it as well.
Yeah, definitely. We're not the most interesting of blokes.
Speak for
Um,
yourself.
Speak for myself. Fair enough. But yeah, we didn't get to go through the reserves. So
We didn't.
we'll, instead of going through one by one, I'll quickly fly through them, and then we can pick out some drivers that we think might make an impact when they are called in to race.
Yeah.
So 3 drivers that dropped out from being full-time drivers from season 2 is CRX Mars, CRX Gods, and Danny Boy. Mars
Mm.
and Danny Boy both picked up wins, and Gods I think got pole position in Canada. So
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
three fast drivers dropping out there.
Yeah, three very fast drivers. Reasonably consistent in their placings as well. I mean, when Danny Boy came in, he was winning races left, right, and centre, wasn't he? So that's really opened it up, I think, for the top end.
Yeah, I mean when he joined, it was pretty much like Big Boy June versus Danny for
Yeah.
the race wins, unless
Yeah.
unless they
Luckily,
both had a stinker.
yeah, and luckily Fiscal did the work in the first half of the season to clinch the championship.
He did. He's very fortunate that he did put in the work in the first half.
Yeah,
So
but
those
yeah,
3
like
will
like
be
I say,
missed.
yeah, three big kind of dropouts for the main roster. But like I say, it opened it up for the rest of the guys to kind of fill that void, if you were.
Exactly, exactly. And the ones that came in, obviously we spoke about Zero, Headshot, and Alpha. They're the
Yeah.
guys who are coming in. The rest of the reserves we have Volkman, Noof, but I know him from Better Jolly. Alex P, a long-term reserve. Leon was with us last season. Kaya also with us last season. Sir Hamrick as well. Frank Gorley, another Better Jolly guy. AMR Vantage, who was full-time, is now a reserve. A new person in Vapor Wolfie. We've got some old faces returning in
Mm.
Spies, Elgros Bedo, and VER Goach, who was called just Chris F1 back
Mm.
then. We have Hiddy 23 as well, a fast driver, and I have actually signed myself up as a reserve, so I'm made to take part in a few races here and there. Any
Okay.
names? Any names there? Obviously, we know quite a few from last season, but any names there that
Yeah.
stick out as getting some good results when they come in?
Well, I mean, Spies were strong. Elgo Speedo can have his day. Goach as well when he raced. When he was in BPRL before, he was quite consistent as well. Again, it's quite a mixed bag, but also quite strong for reserves.
Yeah, it definitely
Um,
is.
yeah, I mean, any one of them can get a result on a day.
Yeah, there's definitely like a mix of skill level there. I mean,
Yeah,
personally, yeah, like you said, VR Goach when he was in, Spies when he was in, they were both very much up the top end.
yeah,
Hiddy, I know well, good friend, another Dutch racer. There's a lot of Dutch racers around. He's got
God, they're everywhere, aren't they?
everywhere. He's got good pace. Frank on
Mm.
his day, Frank Gorley, Leon as
Yeah,
well. Volkman is always capable. I forgot to add as well. I only just remembered. I should have done this before we were recording. But Stiku, who we haven't seen for a very long time, is still a reserve. He popped up the other day, and hopefully he will
Ah,
return
brilliant.
at some point, which is nice to
Again,
see.
another strong racer.
Yeah, a strong racer, and he's a good lad as well.
Yeah.
So obviously some of these are in line for a full-time seat if anyone drops out. I think
Mm.
Vapor Wolfie, Spies, Elgros Bedo, Hiddy, VER, Goach. I think they're the five that could potentially move into a full-time seat if anyone drops out.
Mm.
And they'll be good assets for any team.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I say, any of those can get result. It's probably one of the strongest reserves going, to be honest. I mean, any one of them come into a race and not just fill the gap, but perform as well. So, great backup squad we've got there for the league.
Yes, it's a good long list. So when we are short of a full grid, we have plenty of names to rely on, and I'm sure we used to have Joey as well. He's still in the
Mm.
Discord. He likes to pop up now and then and join in with the fun.
Oh yeah.
Um, one thing we didn't talk about. Well, we did. One thing we didn't do in the last episode is make any constructor predictions. We made some driver
Mm.
predictions, but we didn't actually make a solid constructor prediction.
I
So,
mean, to be honest, constructors wise, I think I said this last week. I think it's just open. It's so open. It's such a level playing field for all the teams this year.
I'm looking. I'm
I mean,
looking for. I'm looking for you to get off the fence.
well, uh, if I had to go off the fence, mm, I mean, maybe me and Zero. Who knows?
Yeah,
I mean,
you got to back
if
yourself.
well, if the upward trajectory, shall we say, of myself for the last kind of year or so is continuing, then and Zero, he won the last race in Brazil as a reserve, very strong driver, very fast driver. Potentially, who knows? Who knows? But I mean, you can't really look past Fiscal. Um,
No,
pulled in the majority of the points at Ferrari last year. Baguette in Ferrari with Vessier, my old teammate, again can perform. It is just so open. It's such a well matched group of teams we've got this year.
it is. It is. So your prediction is you're going to back yourself and Zero to bring it home in the AlphaTauri.
Well, no, because every time I back myself, I always bottle it. So I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I'm I'm gonna have to stick with Mercedes with Fiscal and Papiro. That's gonna be my call, and hopefully I jinx it.
Fiscal and Papiro of Mercedes. Okay. I can see why. Obviously, Fiscal,
Mm.
champion, consistent. And Papiro, I don't think we have seen his full potential
No.
yet, so you never know. Um, I'm I'm gonna have to say Williams. I can't see past Big Boy Doohan unless he has a poor qualifying or makes a mistake. He's always gonna be up there. And Alpha's also a very strong driver. Every time I seem to reconnect with him in a different league, he seems to have improved slowly but surely. Um,
Mm.
so I think I'm gonna go with the Williams team for my
Okay.
prediction.
Yeah. Didn't fancy going for me. That's fine. Love the.
You're my second. You're my second pick.
Sure, sure. But no, that's a great shot actually. I completely forgot about the Williams team as well. I mean, yeah, it's just so open. It's gonna be a great season.
It's massively open, but that's what we like.
Mm.
We don't want a clear favourite. We don't want a clear
Exactly.
favourite.
We don't
Uh,
want a real life F1 season.
no, no, we don't want that. So the season is going to be starting on the 18th of March, but we have agreed to do a practice race next week,
Yeah.
and the drivers have been voting because we thought, you know what, let's just let them decide.
Yeah,
And
because we're so, blasé about it all.
yeah, yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, three. It's not done yet. The vote's still got about 45 minutes left, so we
Yeah.
won't be able to find out before the end of the podcast. But currently, it's Bahrain on 11 votes, the Netherlands Grand Prix, Dutch Grand Prix, on 10 votes, and Silverstone on 9 votes. Would you be happy with Bahrain? Or would you like to
Um,
see one of the other two? I mean, Silverstone and Bahrain's both on the calendar, but
it
Netherlands
is. It
isn't.
is. I mean, I've never actually done a full race around Netherlands. Unfortunately, I retired in the BPRL season. Um, but yeah, I mean, Bahrain, not a bad track. You know, if anything, it's probably going to do us all good because it's the first race of the season as well. So we'll be there twice in a row, followed by the short version the week after. So that could be why people are voting for it to get their eye in for the first race. Um, Personally, Silverstone, one of my favourite tracks. I think it's favourite for a lot of people. Um, yeah, great racing all the time. We've been around there, so that'll probably be my pick. That's what I've voted for anyway. But I would not be angry with any three of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I think all in their own right, they're all three quality tracks, and I agree. I
Yeah.
do enjoy Bahrain. I don't know why. It used to be a track I wasn't very fond of, but now I just seem
Mm,
to really enjoy the track. But
yeah.
I will correct you. You said that Bahrain was round 1 and 2, but it's the
Oh no,
Austria and the
yeah. No,
Styria.
I'm thinking of the actual Formula One season, aren't I?
Yeah, yeah. So it's
Uh,
actually round 10 and round 11. Round 11 being the Bahrain short, and then Abu Dhabi's the last round. So it would
we can edit
be.
it out, right? Sure.
We might just leave it in.
Ah,
We might
okay.
just leave it
All
in.
right.
But as much as I like Bahrain, and I do love Silverstone as well, I would like to see the guys go around a different track to the
Mm,
ones on the calendar. So I would like to see Netherlands, but it's up to the drivers what they want to do.
true.
Um, and that closes in about 40 minutes. So we'll see. We'll see if anyone comes and changes the vote at the last minute.
Right. Are we going to be streaming the race, or are we going
Good
to save
point.
it for the first race?
Good point. I think we will stream. There may or may not be commentary. If there isn't commentary, like don't be alarmed. But we'll have commentary for the opener and for the whole season with our brilliant commentary team of four guys. So
Yeah.
no, it will be on the channel. Whether it will have commentary or not is yet to be decided. Um, right, I think we've gone through everything that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So this week we were planning to get two guests in again. Unfortunately, one dropped out last minute. But we do have one driver from the upcoming season of the Williams team, and it is Alpha, who left us in the first quarter or first half of the season due to PSGL commitments, which is fair enough. Massive league. But yeah, Alpha, welcome to BPRL Weekly.
Yep, hello.
Pleasure to have you on. Are you happy with one, the car, and your teammate? Because it was Big Boy June who had the team and car pick, so it wasn't massively up to you. But how happy are you with that?
I'm happy with the car. I love Williams, and Big Boy June's a good friend of mine for about a year now, so I was hoping someone who I knew would pick me. I was hoping for maybe Fiscal, but I'm happy that Ewan took me there, so very happy with both, to be honest.
Brilliant. And what do you think your chances for this season, then, personally, on a drivers' championship kind of vibe?
Um, Probably about top 8, but we don't know what could happen.
And Constructors has surely got to be, with someone who scored the most wins last season, surely you've got to be looking for a Constructors Championship as well.
I'm looking for it. I want the Constructors win.
would you say the constructors is more of a priority for yourself than the drivers?
Definitely Constructors is more priority because I've got a way quicker teammate than me, so I know he'll be scoring right up at the front of the points. I'll be about midfield 5th or 6th, so Constructors definitely the #1 priority for us.
Fair enough. Is there anyone that you kind of think might challenge you for the constructors? Because Lazy thinks you're going to win it. You know, no pressure or anything, but
I don't know yet, but maybe you're in Zylo, maybe Fiscal and his teammate, but maybe even Vesa, and I forgot his teammate, but yeah, probably them. Maybe even LR Delta and the Leno. So
yeah. So Bevezia's with Big Baguette, the runner-up in season 2 in the Ferrari. So again, yeah, that's a very strong team.
my old
Delta's
1.5.
with It's indeed, yeah. Delta's with Kyle in the Renault. Again, another strong team. Like I said earlier, it's just so wide open this year.
Yeah.
So, where are you looking to pick up the most points in the calendar? Obviously, it's a bit of a different calendar to what we'd usually see, but obviously based on the real F1 season we've just had. Where are your strong points? Where are your weak points in that calendar?
Britain is one of my strong points. I love Britain. I love it. Bahrain I could. Not Bahrain. Bahrain's short I love. I hate normal Bahrain. Where could else?
Interesting.
Maybe Austria, but we don't know. I kind of like Austria, and I think that's it, to be honest.
So I mean, last week I was saying that not many people have raced the short tracks, but you say you love the Bahrain. Like, how confident are you around there in the short track?
I'm very confident. I love it because it's way short, and no one knows how to do that short, the cut into the short bit. Because everyone thinks it'll be the full one, and everyone just goes way late into the braking zone.
Do you prefer it because it cuts out that first sort of sector?
Yeah, because that first sector's horrible. I don't like it because it'll just, if you have bad tyres, it'll spin somewhere. So I love it getting cut out.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, yeah, like I was saying, not many people have really done that much full racing around it. They've done like 5 laps and stuff. But what do you reckon a strategy will be for the shorter tracks?
I've done 100% league someday in another league, and it's soft medium.
Ah, and that's 100% race. How long was that? Just getting some info. Got to write it down.
It's the same as Bahrain.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's actually one thing we haven't decided on the short tracks, whether it'll be 50% or 100%. So that's good information. We'll both jot that down.
I'm gonna start practicing now.
We will. Will you, if you attend the practice race next week, what will you be looking to do? Will you be looking to just use it as a normal race, or will you be trying to see if you can, I don't know, do a bit of tactic work? I don't know. What will you use the practice race for?
The practice race will be used for seeing how quick I am compared to my teammate or other drivers who I want to fight with, like Vesa, Nella, Dewa, and maybe Fiscal and Baguette. I just want to see what my pace is around other drivers. That's what I'll be using it for.
I love they didn't mention my name in that list there.
I know we're close, but you never know.
Yeah, that's
it.
For people watching that didn't know, we all drive in the same league on a Monday. Me and Alpha are in the same team, so we all know each other's pace. And actually, forgot to say, congrats Stu on the potential podium. We don't know yet if it is due to penalty removal, possibly, but we'll give you the congrats anyway. We'll give you the little congrats.
Oh well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Last but not least, unless Stu, you have another question after, what is your driver championship prediction?
I probably don't know. I watched a bit last season. I watched Brazil, and I watched back the races I was in. The 2 ones I'm looking at is Fiscal and Ewan, because I know Fiscal's quick and he's consistent. I know Ewan, on his good day, he can win, and then sometimes he has a bad day. So probably between Fiscal and Ewan for the drivers.
Yeah, I
Nice.
think that's a pretty good shout actually.
Yeah.
I think it will depend on how Big Boy takes the season, whether he's consistent like Fiscal was, or whether penalties or bad qualifying can bite him. But yeah, it's gonna be great. I can't get banging on about it. It's gonna be great.
It is going to be great. And actually, quickly, from both of you, before we end this episode, I want your best and your worst livery so far. I know we're still waiting for Ferrari and Williams. I'm still anticipating the Williams. Ferrari will probably not change too much, but Stu, what's your best livery so far?
And my favourite has to be the Alpine. I mean, that blue, the shine of it, the chrome, the blue, is just stunning. Absolutely stunning.
It is a very nice car. Alpha, what about you?
It has to be the Alpine as well.
Alpine as
I
well.
love it so
Wow.
much.
I'm gonna break this streak of Alpines because personally it's that Aston Martin. The green I love. I just love that green, personally. But the one I'm not a fan of is it has to be the Red Bull. I just find it too bland and just it's had its time now. I think they need a change.
It hasn't changed in 5 years, 6 years, whatever it is. It's, the most redundant person in that team is the livery designer.
Yeah.
And he probably gets paid twice as much as me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, with your point of the Aston Martin one, I was disappointed there wasn't any kind of bright green tweaks like they have on their GT cars. I think that's probably what let it down for me.
Yeah, they do have a bit of lime sort of green on their team kits as well, so I was expecting a bit of that as well, but
yeah,
you can't pick and choose.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of it today on track at Silverstone, and I do have to say, in dull weather, it doesn't look that great.
Oh.
I think maybe sunny places, potentially it will look better, but yeah, in dull, rainy Silverstone, it didn't look that great, I'll have to admit.
Oh, well, you've made me feel great about the Aston Martin.
Well, I'm so sorry, man. So sorry.
My worst one's probably the Aston Martin Mercedes Alpha Tauri. I just don't like them.
See, I like the AlphaTauri one. I don't mind that.
I don't mind it. It looks a bit classic.
White with the blue, I would have liked it. If they did the blue where the white would have been perfect. But they've just done the blue in a weird way.
I have seen that debate. That the blue and the white should have been switched, but I like it. It has a bit of a classic effect on it. Stu, what's your worst one?
Haas.
Oh, yeah,
Haas livery.
It's controversial.
It's basic. It's a Russian flag on an American car. It's plain. It's boring. I don't like it at all. The only saving grace is it hasn't got rich energy on it.
Yes. You need to know if it's gonna be Williams or Ferrari's got that energy.
Nah, well, I can't see Ferrari taking rich energy, to be honest.
No.
And I hope Williams aren't that stupid. I mean, I've seen like their dark blue kind of uniforms for the pit stop crew and everything, but yeah, if they go rich energy, they've just ruined everything for me.
It would be a shame, but he is adamant, the owner, isn't he, that he's in F1 this season?
Yeah.
Or he's just gone a bit loopy.
I mean, there is that possibility.
There is that possibility. But that is episode 2, I think. Alpha, thank you very much for being our guest this week. Sorry you didn't have another guest alongside you, but it's been great to get a bit of insight off of one of the drivers at least. So thank you very much.
Yep, it's been fun.
And we'll be back for another episode next week. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at BPRL PS4. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. And next week we have one guest confirmed already. We're not going to give the name away, but it is another driver. We'll hopefully have someone joining him Stu, once again, thank you.
Thank you very much for having us.
And thanks everyone who's clicked on the video for the second week running.
Yeah, and look out for the practice race next week as well.
Yes, practice race live next Thursday at 8:30 p.m. It's either Bahrain, Netherlands, or Silverstone. So we'll see you then, and we'll see you on the next episode.